Hey, what's going on, CoinOpTV subscribers? Robert Welkner here. In this video, I want to talk about the morning show from Apple TV Plus, episode 4, which is called That Woman. This video will contain spoilers. I got my show notes over here, my bullet points, things I want to talk about. I gotta say, I was looking forward to episode 4 because I thought episode 3 really kicked things in motion and got things kind of settled and interesting and character developing and character beats and moments. But unfortunately, episode 4 was the worst so far. This episode was junk. I was just like, what the heck am I watching? I'm watching regular old crappy TV right now. I'm not watching like Apple TV Plus and cinematic moments and carefully calculated script writing and directing and producing. I'm watching something that's thrown together and becoming quickly uninteresting. And I can see why the ratings for the morning show and the interest for the morning show is, less and less, or it's not really there at all. So with that, let's try and talk about some of the pros and the cons of some of the details of the show and give you some of my opinions. And I look forward to reading some of your comments and your feedback of the morning show. And, let me know what you think. Okay, so we're going to see what Bradley looks like on camera and on the morning show as Alex's co-host. And first off, pretty much after her little introduction and her screen time there, the first big bombshell thing that she drops is that she had an abortion when she was 15, and this kind of catches everybody off guard. It's completely off script. It hasn't been prepped or cleared. And, she's just like, hey, you know what? I want to be honest with America, and I'm going to talk off the cuff or just stream of consciousness. And that's kind of the way Bradley goes. Bradley, of course, played by Reese Witherspoon. Alex played by Jennifer Aniston. And so this pretty much puts the network execs in a panic. There's a lot of scrambling, a lot of, confusion or concern, I guess is maybe the words. Advertisements are calling up to pull themselves out from the show. People are making memes on Twitter and Instagram and social media. Pro-life protesters are showing up in droves to protest with their signs outside because they're upset with Bradley that she had an abortion at 15, and this is a big deal. Abortion, I don't take abortion lightly, but I'm just saying in the show, it becomes like a big deal, big show moment for Bradley and the tone. It's her first episode on the show, and this is what's going on. So we see some fallout of that. The good news is that people aren't really talking about Mitch that much. Mitch, of course, was the former anchor who was accused, the Me Too movement accused, which is kind of the premise of the show here. And Corey, who is one of the show executives, says that there's woke Twitter now, and he's reading comments and stuff like that. And there's actually a moment where people are saying woke and woke Twitter, woke this, woke that. And I was just like, guys, when you make movies and TV and you make some shows, I know you want to address like current events and topical things like that, but you don't want to do it in such a way where it's just so obvious. It's almost like you're just holding like Twitter in front of you and you're reading stuff off on Twitter into the thing. I mean, this is going to be, cinema forever. And here you are using sort of very current phrases and things that you're talking about, topical things that just going to make things all sound very dated. It's like saying, Facebook or MySpace or AOL or something like that. When your shows and your movies, it's just going to make things sound very dated and it seems like out of place. So all that's going on. Bradley realizes maybe it wasn't really the thing to do or say, but she's going to roll with it, and we're going to kind of see what happens. The morning show week just seems to zoom by, lightning speed, and then eventually we kind of see a little few things happening, but it's almost like a montage, like Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and we finally get to Friday where there's going to be the big interview with Bradley and Mitch's Me Too accuser on the show. And I said this in my last morning show video, this would never happen in real life. I mean, there'd be some legal teams involved, there'd be some executives, some agents and managers. You would never have a segment on a show where somebody comes in as a guest who's going to talk outright frankly about somebody that they're accusing of Me Too sexual advancements and harassment in that actual network on that show there. That would never happen. So when this happens, or when this is leading up, you're just like, no, this would never happen. There's no way that like NBC or Fox or anybody would like have somebody as a guest on the show the week of or the week after the accusations are made public talking about it. I mean, the ramifications of this would be insane, off the roof, off the charts. So this just comes off as like insanely silly and fake and wacky. So poor writing, poor direction, poor producing of the show. Episode 4 has taken a bit of a nosedive. I was looking forward to episode 4 because episode 3 actually had some great little one-on-one scenes, some character moments that I thought were kind of cool. But now we're in episode 4, and it's just regular old silly TV out there. Much like For All Mankind episode 4, they just kind of get a little silly with this, and I can see why nobody's watching the show. I'm watching it. I'm hoping it's gonna really get better. We'll see how things kind of go. During the Bradley interview, she goes way off script, trying to dig deeper with the accuser gal, and she's trying to basically just kind of dig up, I guess, the truth. She wants the honesty or the truth, and people are like, no, stay on script. They're panicking. We're seeing reactions from producers and directors, and people are trying to panic and get out of this. And eventually it gets down to where the accuser gal sort of says like, hey, everyone involved on the morning show knew about this relationship and they were aware of it. And again, we're just fueling the fire here when it comes to like the lawsuit, if there is a potential lawsuit. So speaking of Mitch's character, Steve Carell's character Mitch, he's not even on the show in this episode at all. What a ball dropped here. Where's the shot of him watching on TV the accuser talking on live TV about him? Where's that shot? What happened to Steve Carell in this episode? He's not there at all. He's completely absent. It's strange that they decided not to show his reaction on the live broadcast. There's just been lots of poor writing, directing decisions overall in this episode. It was completely my least favorite of the episodes so far. I'm hoping this is just, we're going to slam the door on some of the silliness, and the next few episodes are going to like rev up and become really fun and interesting. There's another little subplot with an internal investigator shows up, and she's interviewing some of the people, or pretty much all of the people around the morning show, to sort of find out how much they knew about Mitch and her relationship, the accuser's relationship, and how exposed things are. And there's of course the little subplot with the weatherman and his co-worker, and they're fooling around, messing around, and they're actually talking about getting in trouble in HR. So the show is trying to address very important topical things, but man, they're just doing it in such like a silly way or an uninteresting way that it's turning me off. So I'm sorry if I sound very negative in this video, but I have my hopes up for the show, the morning show, and some of these other shows on Apple TV, but they're not really, cutting it. So we'll see how things go. So let me know what you thought of the morning show episode 4 or the morning show overall in the comments below, so we can discuss, we can talk. And thanks a bunch for watching this video for CoinOpTV. We'll see you next time.